Today, I want to go over the 3 most common reasons I sold protein powders. And if this is why you buy protein powder, you need to stop. Today, we're unpacking the go-to supplement in the fitness industry. The supplement everyone is using from newbies to pros. It's as homey and familiar as a stack of pancakes, but is it everything we want it to be? What's up, everyone? My name is Kyler. I am a nutrition coach and an ex-supplement salesman. And today I want to go over the 3 most common reasons I sold protein powders. And if this is why you buy protein powder, you need to stop. So number 1, any benefit from an added ingredient. When I worked in the supplement industry, there were multiple different kinds of protein powders from all different kinds of companies, all different kinds of blends, and they were burdened with the task of standing out amongst the crowd. The way that they would do this is typically by adding ingredients to it to give it a perk or a benefit of taking that specific protein powder. You'll take this protein powder, you'll burn more fat. You'll take this protein powder, you'll build more muscle. Some of them would even try and replace your coffee in the morning by throwing caffeine in there. The problem with this is that it's purely from a marketing standpoint. They're worried about their bottom dollar. They're worried about getting that product off the shelves and into your hands. They could care very little about the result. So at the end of the day, these companies are doing what they can to get that perk on the label, but aren't really worried about the actual ingredients in the blend. And what that means is you've got a lot of bottom shelf junk fillers in those protein powders, like L-carnitine as a fat burner, caffeine or creatine, something like that. It's under tested, it's under regulated products that they're putting in these blends just so they can put on the label, hey, it's in there and this makes my protein powder different. The supplement industry is under regulated. It's a huge problem. You don't have to prove that anything is actually in the product to sell it. The FDA has to prove it's not for it to be taken off the shelf. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what you put in it to go on the shelf. You can just smack a label on it and call it a day. So if you are in the market for a protein powder and you're scrolling some popular supplement websites or you're going to your local supplement store, don't be enticed by those labels. Don't be enticed by the promises of being able to do this and do that, because very often it's a cheap knockoff and it actually might be a strong red flag for you to avoid that protein altogether so you're not putting harmful stuff in your body. Not to mention it can be a little harmful to your wallet as well. Those fillers tend to knock that protein up about $10, $15, sometimes $30, $40. So be careful. All right, reason number 2, you're trying to take it pre or post workout or pre and post workout to get the most out of your workout. The market is oversaturated with influencers who are talking about taking different supplements around your workout to gain the most benefit. And protein is quite the victim of this. You have a lot of people pushing protein before you work out so that you remain in an anabolic state, and protein after you work out so you can carry that anabolic state onward into your next meal. And to pause right there, let's talk about an anabolic state. So when you're in an anabolic state, your body is essentially rebuilding. And when you're in a catabolic state, your body's breaking down. Like, that's as simple as, we can make it. The logic here is that you want to stay in an anabolic state so that your body is rebuilding, it's staying strong, it's building muscle, etc., etc. If you're in a catabolic state, you're essentially breaking everything down. So you're not getting stronger, you're not building muscle, you're catabolic. So when an influencer is talking about taking care of your anabolic window and staying in an anabolic state while working out, and they're saying, hey, take protein before, take protein after to maintain that, it can be very appealing, but it is absolutely not true. The truth is, working out is a catabolic state. It will always be a catabolic state. No matter what's in your stomach, you want to be putting yourself into a catabolic state while working out. A little side note, this is also the reason a lot of influencers push BCAAs. I already made a video on BCAAs. You can check that out here, but they'll do the same thing and it's a red flag. But the truth is, working out is a catabolic state. That's how you get stronger. Working out and getting fit is a series of putting stress on the body and then facilitating adaptation or recovery. You break it down to build it up. And trust me, you want your body in a catabolic state. It's a good thing. The reason it's a good thing is because if you maintained an anabolic state 100% of the time, you're not giving your body a reason to get bigger, to get stronger. You're not forcing stress and then recovering from that stress. That's all working out is. If you maintain an anabolic state, you never achieve that stress. Okay, but that said, let's reel it back into protein. At this point, an influencer or someone selling a protein powder would probably follow up with, okay, well, you don't need it before you work out because then you get in a catabolic state, but you need it after you work out. And that way you're facilitating that recovery so much sooner. There's another side that they're not sharing with you is that you don't need to rush to the recovery. Our bodies aren't that sensitive and you're going to be fine. The window of time that you want to give yourself after workout to get some nutrition in is much higher than the very popular 30 minutes. minutes. You can actually argue it's up to 2 hours, maybe even longer if your nutrition is on point. So you have time to get to your next destination and actually enjoy a full meal with all the nutritional value you need. So moral of this story, you do not need protein before or immediately after you work out. Just make sure your nutrition is on point. Like, you want a pre-workout meal composed of all your macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. You want that an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before you work out. And then your post-workout meal, you can really go another 2 hours or so and let them be full meals, because then you're giving your body all the building blocks it needs to facilitate that recovery completely. And reason number 3, you're buying it to recover from your workouts. Okay, hear me out on this one. I know I sound crazy saying that, but this is something I had to talk through probably 95% of my customers who are looking for a protein powder. Protein powders are not a special formula that facilitate maximum recovery. Despite what it might say on the label, this is not what they're designed to do. Protein powder is literally just that. It is a powder form of protein, and that's all it should be. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a great source of protein. It usually is a solid blend of essential amino acids that you need in your body, but it's just that. It's just protein, and this protein isn't that hard to find in your nutrition. Some really great sources of protein will usually be found in meats, dairy products, or legumes. You don't need a specific kind of protein to facilitate that recovery. You just need a specific quantity of protein to facilitate that recovery. So it's not about which protein, it's about how much you're getting in throughout your whole day. Now, this is where protein powder comes in. It's very helpful to hit that number because it's a pure source of protein. Super helpful. It's one of the supplements I'm always using because it helps me hit my protein number, but that should be the only reason you ever need to buy a protein powder. So if you're starting a routine or you are about to start a new diet, here are some things that you need to do before you buy a protein powder. And if you do all of these things and you still come to the conclusion that I need a protein powder, awesome. Now you can start doing your research. You can find a protein powder that you like. But number 1, find the calories that you need to hit your goal. Number 2, break those calories up into macronutrients, which will be proteins, carbs, and fats. At this point, try and plan your meals and figure out the best way you can hit all of those numbers using food. And after all is said and done, and you're still short on your protein, you're having trouble hitting that number, awesome. Let's start looking for a protein powder. If you're believing any other reason to buy a protein powder other than it'll help you hit that number at the end of the day, it's genuinely not gonna make a difference and you need to stop. It'll save you a lot of money. Thanks for hearing me out, guys. I really appreciate you. Protein is simple. It doesn't have to be as crazy as the companies like to make it. Just look for a protein powder that you like for the source of protein, not for any of the added benefits, and take it how you need it. Subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more, and you have a wonderful day.